we move away and head to Jakarta in Indonesia for the Jakarta EPrix here in Indonesia.
Very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to JB Motorsports coverage of the round 12 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship from Jakarta. If you might have realised, I'm not JB. JB's in Alton Park and can't be here for the race this morning, and so it's an absolute honour for me to step in and call this one. We're in Jakarta. We're coming into the final third of the championship. We've got a single header today in Jakarta, and then we head on to Berlin in 2 weeks' time for a double header before the season rounds out in London in about 5 weeks' time. And actually, Joshua Birch, are you here?
I've managed to get here. Can you hear and see me okay, chaps? Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can just about hear you.
Hang on a minute. I will turn my input volume up. Hello. How's that? Can you hear me now? Hello, everybody.
Yeah, lovely.
Well, we're having to we've got no room of a commentary box here at Alton Park, so we've been walking around, and we are now. If I swing my, I don't know if this camera's connected. I think it is. If I swing my lovely, hang on a minute. Oh well, if you want to select me, I'll show you guys then.
Camera.
We're in this ITV gated off sort of section. This Tom Cans, behind the wheelie bin area. Oh, we're not on yet.
No, we're on battle screen.
Oh right, hello. Is this an on-cam broadcast then?
Well, I decided because I'm in my work uniform because I'm heading straight off to work. I thought it might not be the best idea. But,
I tell you what, if JT wants to put me on camera, he can do, and that'll be the thing. But yes, hello, I've made it. Pico, thanks very much for stepping in. If I do, however, die because the signal goes, you're on call straight away.
Yeah.
So keep up.
Lovely stuff.
What an amazing qualifying, by the way. So, yeah, I've just been told that no cam's set up because he didn't think I was going to be here. So, just play it cool, mate. Play it cool. If we need to stay on battle screen, we can... Okay. What a great qualifying, by the way. Omi, if you're here with microphone, you were watching that session. Dennis on pole, Barnard in second. It's quite an interesting run around, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting. Some mistakes as well in the duels, for example, from Barnard, which was really interesting to see. I was there giving Megan some emotional support through the night stint, but yeah, we got through it and we got some good views on that broadcast, so thanks to everyone who joined us then.
Yeah, Pico, what do you think then? Dennis on pole, but we've got the championship contenders. We've got Roland in 16th place. Didn't even make it out of the duels as well. He's down in 9th place in Group A. It's going to be a hard race for him today at a track that's very unforgiving.
Well, yeah, and from what we've heard, it's going to be very difficult to overtake. It's very much sort of like a one-line track, especially because of the dirt and everything that's come onto the circuit. There was rain overnight as well, and so yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one. Maybe Roland can get up into the points, but yeah, if someone wants to try and take it to Oliver Roland, it needs to be here and now.
I don't know if we've got track noise or that's too much to ask for JT, but we stand by, we're being told. We are underway then, getting set for round number 12 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here at Jakarta. We're at Alton Park with several different things. There's a spider's cobweb just below me in the commentary setup that we've got, so that's a lovely way to start your day with cameras. But Pico, it's going to be a great event, a great race, and it's a circuit that we know and love. We've been off the calendar for a year, and now it's back as just a single header, but this could potentially be the last time we race here.
Well, yeah, we've had the calendar released for next season. There were 2 TBCs on it, but we believe that this will be one of them. They just need to dot some I's and cross some T's this weekend. But this circuit is fantastic. The run into turn 1 is probably the main overtaking zone. We saw a couple of years ago the 2 Jaguars come together here and take themselves out at the points. But this circuit is such a cool one because this circuit was designed and built with Formula E in mind. They they had this mudland and they've turned it into a racing circuit, and yeah, for me, it's one of my favorite ones on the calendar,
Yeah.
and we're going to get. I don't think it'll be as professional as people think. I think it'll still be quite good because we've got the attack mode. No pit boost here today, but the attack mode with the 4-wheel drive is going to be huge.
Here we go then, all set. As we get geared up, ready to go. Hopefully it's going to be okay. Pico, take us to the grid.
All right, Norman Natto's struggling time continues. He starts on the back row with Robin Frines. The two Lola App Yamahas are on the second back row. Pascal Verlan got a 3-place penalty for impeding qualifying. He drops from 14th down to 17th. That's importantly behind championship rival and championship leader Ollie Rowland, who starts 16th. David Bettman's 15th. Stoffel Van Dorn, who won in Tokyo early in the year, in 14th. Nico Muller starts 13th after a problem in qualifying. Max Gunter, who was dominant here 2 years ago, he starts 12th. Sam Bird is in 11th. We then move into the top 10, where the inaugural winner of the Jakarta EPrix, Mitch Evans, starts. Antonio Felix Acosta will start in 9th place for Porsche. He just missed out on the duels. John-Eric Verne made a mistake on his lap in the quarterfinals, so he starts 8th. Sebastian Buemi back in the duels again. He starts in 7th. Edo Mortara, the first of the lower one of the two Mahindras. They were the only team to get themselves into the duels today. Dan Tickter missed out on a place in the semi-finals by 0.005 of a second, and he lines up in 5th. Nick Cassidy, still with Phil Ingram as he was in Shanghai, will start P4, just behind Nick De Vries in the other Mahindra. It's an all-British front row. The rookie sensation, Taylor Barnard. We've seen him make a mistake. It's first time he's lost a duel in the final. He starts in 2nd. And for the first time since Berlin, about 13 months ago, Jake Dennis is on the pole position.
Dennis on pole then as we get ready to get going down towards turn number 1. It's a tricky circuit here as well. A total of 18 corners, pit road speed at just 50 kilometers per hour, and the run down towards the first corner. It's a wide entry, so look out for those sending up the inside. The grid almost formed. And hello to everybody on cameras as well, as Tom Can's sitting alongside me as well as we get ready for this one. Dennis Barnard, row 1. Row 2, De Vries Cassidy. Tickter Mortara on row 3 as we all get set to go. Thank you. Here we go then. Remember, 38.5 kilowatts of power. Regen at 0.93. It's a 38-lap race, so there's not a lot that they have to waste here. So expect a lift and coast. Barnard could win it. Who's your picker winner, Pico?
Honestly, I was thinking before he even won the qualifier, I was thinking Jake Dennis might be on for a good one today. And the thing is, we will see the guys on the odd side of the grid make a better start because it's so dirty.
Here we go. All 5 lights are on, and it's lights out. We're racing in Jakarta. Great start coming from Cassidy and De Vries from the second row of the grid. And Cassidy has immediately jumped into the lead, but Dennis has got it into turn 1. Cassidy's had to go backwards. Dennis leads into second, then goes De Vries. Barnard holds off third. Cassidy's dropped back into about 5th position. Mortara and Buemi moving up. Rowland and Verline switching positions as well. Dennis leads. De Vries, Barnard, Tickton, Cassidy, Mortara, Buemi, and now we got that dust and the sand stream, Pico, that you see all comes up. It's still such a dirty circuit round here.
Yeah, they're going to be cleaning the circuit for the entire race. It makes me think that they're not going to go for attack mode until really late on in the race, just because it's just so dirty. And the person who takes attack mode last, they're going to lose the least time. But we saw the drivers on the odd side of the grid just make such a better start, and Barnard slipped down to 3rd, Cassidy slipped down to 5th.
And Omi, a perfect getaway though as well from De Vries up to 2nd. He could be on for the likely victory. He likes being in these positions.
Yeah, he absolutely does. So he'll be trying to capitalise on that one. An interesting start to the contest though, and it's going to be interesting to see how the race will progress all the way through.
Have you started the touring cars?
I'm trying to.
Don't forget, it's on your stream key. So touring cars might start in a little while. The first section's gone out. I can hear trackside with me here as well. So then it's Dennis to freeze up a place, and now the energy saving begins. Nobody wants to lead this race. Nobody wants to be last in this race as well. Yeah, the Porsche Sprint Challenge qualifying has just started behind me. If you might be able to hear that, although we've got some good headsets, so you might not hear it as we thought. Roland moves up then ahead of Van Dorn. Dennis still there with the freeze, and they're all still closing back in. You can hear it, really? That's a surprise. There it is.
Good battle between Roland and Gunter. Roland's gained 2 positions since the starting point, but like we said, it's going to be hard to overtake just because everything off the racing line is so dirty and dusty that no one will want to really go out there. And if you do go out there try and make a lunge, there's a huge chance that you might lock up, miss your braking zone, and lose more positions out of it.
And that's what you think you don't want to do, especially at this track as well. One small lock-up, it's bang, bang into the wall as they come out past the exhibition centre, where my mate's actually been when he was in the World Championship Karate Challenge as well. Now, attack mode here, 50 kilowatts of power boost, 2 activations. You can either take it in a 2 and a 6, a 4 and a 4, or a 6 and a 2. You can arm it 5 times, 8 minutes total across the weekend. It's pretty standard now, but I think it's going to be more critical here than ever.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the later that you take it, I think here today will be easier because no one wants to have the job of cleaning up the attack mode activation zone because it will just be so dirty and dusty. But we're looking back from Dennis now into De Vries and through this back section of the circuit, through the middle sector. It's so tight and twisty that it is so hard to overtake as well.
Down the back straight we go then, still staying pretty much as it were, with Dennis leading. There's a little... okay, this is the one thing I don't like about Formula E, and the thing I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated with as the cars go past behind me. It's the fact is that... It's on Vern, 4 minutes, so he's gone for a 4 and 4. But this is the thing, nobody wants to do anything out here. They're all pretty much just happy staying still.
Yeah, I think that's also with the track conditions as well. I mean, Dan Tixon was saying after qualifying, he hasn't really learnt anything as Taylor Barnard is defending from Tixon there. But yeah, the drivers and teams haven't really learnt anything over the course of this weekend, purely because it's so dirty and dusty that FP2 was fairly damp and it was a drying circuit. Same with qualifying. This is probably the first time that this is a dry track. There are still some damp patches out there. But I think all the drivers just believed it's not raining. We've had 3 races in the last 3 weekends that have been wet, and yeah, it's just nice to see a dry race, especially after what was forecast.
Yeah, and I think as well that's half the best thing is the fact that it is dry. Oh, contact! Oh! Was that Vern running up the back of Muller?
Yeah, no, it was Vern because Gunter's come through that corner. That was Vern. It might have just been overpowered. Going into the back of, yeah, I think you said Nico Muller, but yeah, he's dropped down 15th place, but we'll have to see that on the replay.
Damage to the front wing then for Jean-Éric Vern. We'll see if that changes places. Yeah, that's Vern done then. He'll have the front wing change, but that's pretty much race over. That is such a shame for Jean-Éric Vern, as now we're seeing battles up the inside line as Muller tries to attack Sam Bernard down in towards turn 1. Bird gets on the dust. Muller's going to try and hold it through on the inside line. Bird's going to swing it back up the inside line. He almost gets into the wall, has to back out of it. Leaves himself vulnerable to Mitch Evans, who's coming through from 11th position as well. So even they're still in the battle here.
And is that a warning with what we saw with Jev? He's in the pits now. He's having a look, and he doesn't know what the damage is. And
front wing
on the radio, but yeah, he went for attack mode, and it's gone straight back in his face. Will this just put people off attack mode for the next few laps or so?
Yeah, it's still incredibly dusty offline, and that's the one thing that you sort of just got to hope and pray doesn't go wrong in many a situation here. As Vern and he hit Evans, so it wasn't Muller. It was Mitch Evans he's hit up the back as well. Yeah. So they're under investigation for causing a collision. Interesting enough, yeah, Evans is second there.
Yeah, I just noticed that because Evans. Flap on the rear was a little bit wavy coming out of the corner, but yeah, no, it's just a little bit, yeah, and it was, well, yeah, Muller and Evans were side by side, so it's sort of understandable that
we got confused, yeah.
But But yeah, Evans. Yeah, I saw the little flap on the rear is flapping a little bit more. But yeah, Evans will now carry that damage for the rest of the race.
How's BTCC, Omi?
Omi's gone.
Oh. I presume
So-
big issues.
Yeah, either that or was it Italian F4 that he's doing as well? It started. So,
That's true, yes, yeah.
yeah.
Have you checked Stone Cast?
But yeah, it's still as it was at the front. Dennis leading
Yeah.
from De Vries, Barnard, Picton, Cassidy, Mortara, Buemi, Da Costa, Muller, and Bird is top 10. And Gunter's into the pits. The other DS, almost said DS Techeetah, DS Penske. It's been a few years since.
Yeah.
when I was in Jakarta in 2022 when there was a DS Techeetah still there. And yeah, let me tell you, these drivers, we may be complaining in the UK that it's quite hot at the moment, but
Well, we're in the shade.
But yeah, I can tell you it's nothing compared to the heat and humidity of Indonesia.
Throwing cars is on as well, so he'll be redirected after this broadcast, as well as David Beckman tries to have a little lunge up the inside there of Zane Maloney. I hope you brought your wipes. I forgot to wipe the screen in this morning to come in, and that looks like day done. So Vern's in 21st, and Gunther is out of the race.
Gunter, who was so dominant here 2 years ago, he led every single session apart from the race 1 win. That was a double header 2 years ago. Just a single header this year because of the heat and humidity. The drivers complained that having 2 races on this weekend was just too much for the body to deal with. So we're back to a single header, the last single header of the season. We've got Berlin in 3 weeks' time and London in 5 weeks' time, both of which are double headers to decide the Formula E Championship.
So Dennis De Vries, Barnard, Tickton, Cassidy is your top 5 as they come into it. Not much with the laps. How many got to go? Like 30 laps to go. It's barely even started this one, but that's the way things go in Formula E. It's sort of a long approach. We're expecting the race to last the full distance, of which is around about 48, 49 minutes maximum as they come into it. JT said that he had an F1 radio message notification coming through. He's getting paranoid out there to come into it as well. Let's say Vern Roland is very inefficient.
Maximizing those minimum speeds where he's making the moves.
Briefly, quite nicely on.
Yeah, so Roland's in a little bit of save energy, but he has moved up from where he started, 16th into 12th. No one going for attack mode. Maloney's got 30 seconds of those left, so he'll be closing in once more as the situation does continue on. I'm drying out into this tree. I don't know about you. It's yeah. I think we found our commentary position if things go wrong. As we see at the inside, Maloney getting ahead of Van Dorn in towards turn 1 with a lovely switch from the inside. Yeah, I think we found our commentary position if things go wrong. We need to get out the shade, get into the shade for a bit. It's quite nice under this tree, and it's gated off as well, which means that we're not being disturbed and we look a bit more official.
5-second time penalty for Jev. But that will do nothing. Oh, that's what happened to Gunter. So this is the other DS penalty coming out the hairpin, going into the final sector, turn 13, and it looks like he just gets a little tap into the wall from Ollie Rowland. That's Ollie Rowland. So that looks like a racing incident to me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about you. Ollie Rowland's trying to make moves again, and that rear flap is on Evans's tyre now, and it's creating some friction, and we're seeing some smoke coming out the back of Evans. So they might show him they might show him the meatball flag here. But yeah, Jev has got a penalty for the incident.
Another one
that involved that. But Roland and Gunter, I think that's a racing incident. I don't think anything's going to come of it.
Yeah, racing incident, I agree, between Gunther and Roland. Roland was on the inside line. He didn't squeeze him too much into the wall. It's not really his fault. Yeah, the signal actually here is decent, isn't it, for a Saturday so far? I would say it's as good as the commentary box.
Wait till the people come.
Yeah, although luckily we're out of the way, and there's a couple of Wi-Fi antennas I've been noticing. I've been boosting signal around here because we're sort of in the driver pen area. Energy reveal. Let's see how much they've got left. Then after the opening 10 laps, they've only used 15%. That they're still going to have to regen a lot of energy, Pico, but it's not as bad as what we were thinking.
Right now, the person who looks to be in the box is probably Nick De Vries up in second place. He's just been quietly sitting there behind Jay Dennis the entire race so far, and yeah, he's got just under 1% more than the people around him, but everyone's sort of equal there. When they showed the graphics there, everyone's in and around about 75% at the moment.
Louise Goodman's just passed me as well, which means Louise going to have to come back this way. I might attach a microphone. That's what I might. Then you can talk as well. Actually, I'm thinking about it. We've got some leads. Talk us through it here.
Yeah, so dive down the inside from Roland. Roland's saying that Evans just turned in on him, but I don't think there's anything there between the two of them. I think that's a fuss out of nothing for Ollie Roland. And yeah, he stayed behind Mitch Evans at that point, and he still is behind Evans at the moment. He's in 12th. He hasn't made it up to the points yet. Admittedly, this is only lap 11 of 38. We've got Jake Dennis leading, as he has from the start.
Yeah.
Nick De Vries in second, Taylor Barnard third, Dan Tickton fourth, Nick Caskey fifth, Sebastian Buemi sixth, Eduardo Mortara seventh, Antonio Felix Costa in eighth, Nico Muller ninth, and Sam Bird in 10th.
Well, Tom Cairns has now picked up a microphone. I've plugged one in for him. Hello, Tom. What are you making of the race so far?
It seems to be good, apart from a few collisions involving Vern Evans, and he just had one with Verline. Yeah, that's Verline going through attack mode. He's picked up 6 minutes of attack mode with Verline, which means he's got 2 minutes of attack mode remaining once this current attack mode that he's just using now has expired. He goes back through on JQ's 4 positions. So I'm not sure how many positions Verline's going to gain in all this time, because what you've got to bear in mind is the fact that the next time they go through the section where attack mode could be used, some drivers will be using it, which could disadvantage Verline a little bit. But it's Verline playing the long game and just making sure he doesn't consume too much energy at this point for later on.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big critical race now as well. I'm waiting for Louise Goodman to walk back past, because we saw her park in her Audi. She's gone that way, so she's going to have to come back this way to get to the media centre, because that's where you've got to walk. So she's going to walk a long way. I'm going to flag her down. Let's hear from Verline.
And we progress now. Most of the drivers are focusing on efficiency. So they're deciding to do something different
So
with the strategy
most of the
here.
drivers
Pascal
focus on
Verline looking
efficiency,
for.
and I think that's sort of the key factor, isn't it? Just get it as quick as you can and as safe as you can as well, and just make it to the end. It's only like 12, you're down 50%.
Yeah, this race was always going to be sort of like an outlier. It wasn't going to be sort of peloton race like we've seen in Formula E, but it wasn't going to be a flat-out race like we've seen with some of the races lately. Thinking back to Shanghai, obviously that was wet on the Sunday, but yeah. So Pascal Verline, he went for 6 minutes there, but he was severely out of position.
Oh!
So this is him, and Roland has got a 5-second penalty for the incident with
that's
Gunter.
going to be a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gunter's back in the pits, and I'm fairly certain that's his day done. But
Gunter's down.
But Pascal Verline, he qualified 14th, got a 3-place penalty for blocking in qualifying, dropped from behind Ollie Roland, and this is now the Porsche Hail Mary, so be it, just to try and get up to the points playing position. But he's got just over 3.5 minutes left of his first attack mode. He'll have 2 minutes in a second, but he's only made it up to 16th so far. With David Beckman, I'm sure he'll get out of the way on the front straight here.
Yeah, so that time penalty for Roland's going to be critical, because he's made his way up into 12th place, and now he's lost out of it, and now it's a sweep back on the inside line as he comes through. Yeah, it's a race of 2 halves, isn't it, Tom?
2 hours in terms of
2 halves, I mean.
yeah, 2 halves, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be one of these days. 14 of 18, it's 14 of 38. Wishful thinking it's a little halfway gone. Still Verline. 3 minutes left of attack mode. We've yet to reach the point where it's the go time. We haven't got that time yet, so we're still sort of holding back. Also, we've got the media centre Wi-Fi, which will help out for when we're trackside doing stuff, especially the podium, because it reaches.
Yeah.
So that's great news. And ITV are there. So yeah, we'll be out. Considering, to be fair, it's a lovely spot to do the commentary for the races, right? But I'd rather be tracks though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather see the cars.
Yeah.
To turn 1.
Yeah, Donington's fun, but this in the sunshine. Last thing we need. Oh, Roland's got a power cut. So when's this happened? Go on, Pico.
Yeah, apparently they've been informing Tictum about that because he's behind Taylor Barnard as well. Apparently it's a cross Nissan issue from what I've heard from people chatting who I know listen to some of the radios. So yeah, that might be interesting late in the race. We're just seeing the move that gave Roland that 5-second penalty that will be added to his time at the end of the race. They can't add it in at the pit stop. There is no pit stop today. It's the only weekend for the rest of the year that won't have the pit boost race. We'll be back doing pit boost in Berlin and London in 3 and 5 weeks' time.
Is it bad that I kind of miss it because it's not giving? It gave us a little bit of strategy here. It's another lift and coast race. See how it goes. Wait around and then push. And into is that Bird or Barnard?
That's Sam.
Bird.
So he comes out in front, crucially in front of Pascal. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. Bird missed it. Bird missed it. I'm not sure whether he pressed the button and because you have to activate attack mode and then you have to press the activation button before you drive into it. And he might have just missed one of the 3 sensors. We're seeing Pascal Wehrlein try and make a move on Zane Maloney. He wasn't able to do it down the straight. And he's going to try and get it on the straight out of turn 5 down to turn 7. But is it? No, he's not going to be able to do it. The attack mode isn't that powerful today. We've seen it. We praised it for how powerful it's been over the course of the season so far, but today we're getting maybe one overtaking zone down onto the down in turn 1. I say that, and Wehrlein makes a move into T12.
Contact further back as well. That was Van Dorn. Van Dorn got caught up in that mess.
We're now seeing a couple other drivers. Yeah, that was Da Costa and Muller that we just caught the back end of. Yeah, Mortara's gone for it as well. Ollie Rowland's down the inside of Evans. He's made it stick, but he has still got that 5-second penalty, and we can see the damage to Mitch Evans' car from that contact with Verne a lot earlier in the race. But yeah, Evans has now dropped back outside the top 10, and for the first time in this race, on lap 17 out of 38, the championship leader Ollie Rowland is in the points.
Yeah, Rowland's inside the points paying positions, but he's got that 5-second time penalty to apply on as well. So he'll be hoping not to get a safety car, although the field pretty much bunched up anyway. And Muller getting all out of shape as well.
Yeah, so Muller just messed up the braking coming into turn 7 there, and that sent him wide, and he's dropped back a bit. The thing is, he has got attack mode, so he can close back up to Ollie Rowland. He's got the entirety of the last sector to try and close up, and then he can try, and then he should be able to make the move into turn 1. But we saw Pascal Wehrlein struggle to make that move on Zane Maloney a few laps ago. Tictum of Wemmy into attack mode now.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it, Tom, as well, the way the race is progressing. I think it sort of starts dull, then as typical Formula E fashion, it gets energetic towards the end. Yeah,
on a street circuit like this of Jakarta, this is the kind of racing we've been after compared to some of the other circuits like we saw in Shanghai, which just didn't really work out anyway because of the conditions, and they didn't have the correct tyres for those on the day, really. But the drivers are getting to the swing of it. This is a circuit most of which are familiar with from previous seasons. And there's going to be coming down to when the likes of Dennis, DeVries, Barnard and Cassidy are going to go for it.
Going for it, and he's taking it.
Mortara, sorry.
Mortara. So that is Cassidy in fourth, Mortara in fifth. Go on, Pico.
That's Cassidy into fourth without attack mode, overtaking Mortara in fifth, who has got attack mode. So this is what we're talking about, that it's such a weird sort of conundrum here. Tictum radio.
To push, make sure you follow them. 309 Zulu. Oh, Barnard in attack.
Oh, contact! Barnard getting shuffled back, but Wemy's been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision.
Yeah, I did see that flash up on the timing screen. It was an incident with Edo Mortara that Wemy had, but I don't think we've had a replay for it, so I couldn't tell you what happened or anything like that. But yeah, interestingly, Barnard took attack mode, but he's dropped behind Dan Tickton now, so that's a net loss of position, and he's behind Seb Buemi as well. And we saw a little bit of contact there with the coming out of attack mode, but yeah, we'll have to see a replay of that because I don't think I properly saw that.
Yeah, sorry, I just stopped Tim Harvey to ask him where Steve's going to be at the end of tomorrow because we've got him a going away present as well. So we've got to present him with that. At least now we know he's going to be in the studio for the final, so that's where they're going to be. And it's handy actually because where the podium is, it's right next to the ITV studio. That's right next to the media centre, and it's only around the corner from our commentary position right now. So into the race we go. Mortara with 24 seconds left. He's going to be vulnerable to Dennis on that 100 with 1 minute 50 left on the board. As they see now more moves going down towards turn 1 to freeze passes Cassidy. Cassidy's going to try and do it on switch back in towards turn 1. Can't get the move done, and I think it's just going to be that way, isn't it?
Yeah. We just saw the Nissan go through. And he'll be going after the two leads ahead of Mortara and Dennis, who are currently in attack mode. Well, Mortara is off the attack mode now. I can't believe we're actually already halfway through the race, Josh. It's
insane, isn't it?
It's insane, yeah. But you know, we've had no intervention so far in this one, so no laps needing to be added at the end of this. But so far, I'm really enjoying what we are seeing here in Jakarta. It's been one of the better races compared to what we saw in the others this season, including China and perhaps over in Miami, didn't we? Because we used to see a lot of drivers just change the position. It was a game of chess back then. Over here, it's far from being a game of chess.
Trying to get several thousand things set up at once to come through. Continue on. Pico, what are you going to give it?
I just want to point out, so Cassidy hasn't taken attack mode yet, so he's in fourth at the moment. As we're seeing Dennis trying to have a go at Mortara, he's in attack mode. Mortara is out of his first attack mode. But Antonio Felix da Costa, well, he's just been overtaken by Dan Tickton, but he is up to, well, a net 5th place. And that is crucial because at the moment, Ollie Rowland is looking likely he won't score points today. But the Porsches really need to close in on Ollie Rowland to even have a shot of making trying to win this championship. And as it stands, as Taylor Barnard goes a bit wide, and I think he's going to relinquish that place to Nico Muller for P8, and he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on a day where.
Oh, radio.
Dennis radio.
The car's coming. I think I should pick up the pace.
Agreed. Let's go plan 8.
350 I'll give him finally Tom with a pair of headphones so you can actually hear what's going on.
Hello. How are we all?
Good. On a day where the championship contenders need to capitalise on Ollie Rowland with a time penalty. Unlikely to score points as De Vries is coming through now. Dennis just hangs on. On a day where all the championship contenders need to capitalise on Rowland not scoring, they're not really capitalising. Da Costa's only gaining 8 points, and Pascal Wehrlein out of the points. Taylor Barnard only 1 place ahead of his former mentor.
Sort of give and take, isn't it, really, for this one? I'm disappointed to see that De Vries is running out of attack mode. He can't get the bite point yet. He needs to go ASAP, and he's not. So I think this is going to be... Does it really make so much of a difference? Because you mentioned earlier how you can pass even without attack mode, but they've still got both 1 left each after this, and then it's all... We've only got, 14 laps to go?
Yeah, De Vries will have 1 more shot down the front straight, but realistically, we haven't seen the effects of the attack mode like we have done for the rest of the season.
You need.
Okay, just manage your target as you need, and now Dennis is going defensive. De Vries pulls around the outside line. He's got contact! He's taking out the front wing! What on earth was De Vries thinking there? Swipes across the front of Dennis down towards the start-finish line, and he's taken out Dennis. He'll get a penalty for that. Mortara effectively becomes the race leader.
Yeah, unlucky from Dennis. De Vries, I think he was just trying to chop in front just to make sure that Dennis didn't have a chance going to keep the position down into turn one. Just completely swiped across him. Just went maybe 20 centimeters too early, and has absolutely knocked off the front wing of Jake Dennis. And I'd expect Jake will have to pit. And if he doesn't, the neutral flag will come out. But that is surely a penalty for Nick De Vries.
What do you think?
It looks like De Vries just cut across too late, really, on Dennis. We just see one of the Jaguars go through attack mode. That has to be Cassidy, isn't it? Yeah, so that's Cassidy going into attack mode. I think that's his first one of the race. 4 minutes it is for Nick. So he'll have to take another 4 minutes once that has expired. I want to see another replay. Yeah, there's too much debris. It's on the racing line. That's got to be, it's got to be okay.
Yeah. And the incident's under investigation now, so we might even have a decision before the safety car comes back in. But that absolutely sucks for Jake Dennis, because I feel like he needed that this weekend, and yeah. Just Nick De Vries. I know that it's his 1/8 home race, but yeah, it felt like a bit too heroic there, and the fact that we've seen a penalty for
And what was that? Right, keep your head.
That's from Dennis's team radio, but yeah, I know that you want to do well in your home race, but you don't want to do something like that, and yeah. That was a mad move from Nick De Vries. We've seen him make some choice moves over the years, both in Formula E and in Formula 1. But on a day where Ollie Rowland got a penalty for tapping Gunter into the wall very lightly, that would not surprise me if that's even something like a drive-through. I will say
through the main straight to turn 1 section. We need to collect some debris. Thank you very much.
Now, why put out the full? Why not put out the full caution? Why put out the full safety car? The field was bunched up anyway. It's not really needed.
Because there is actually cars like different points of the circuit. Because Vern had to come in for a front wing change, so you've not got a sufficient gap in the traffic to send marshals out there under double-way yellows to pick up debris. It's far too dangerous. So I don't actually blame race control putting the safety car out. There is quite a lot of debris for them to go and pick up. It should be a very short one anyway, Pico. And it could only easily been like just 1 lap on the safety car and then we can get going again.
Well, if they spend anywhere between 0 and 3 minutes, but there's no added laps into that time. But if it's 3 minutes to 5:59, it's an added lap. That's how long the lap is around here.
Okay.
I just want to point out, because we did have a replay just before that of not the incident, but the lap before the incident, where Dennis very aggressively swiped across De Vries, but there was no contact. It was just Dennis defending his position. I'm not sure if they take that into account, but another thing that I was thinking is, under this safety car, do Andretti sort of bite the bullet now and go, right, okay, let's bring Jake in, replace that front wing, before we get to a point where they will get a flag under green racing conditions. But yeah, this was the... Okay, that didn't look nearly as bad as I thought it did from the off-board. But, but yeah. I'm wondering if Andretti do sort of just bring Dennis in under safety car. No, they won't. The safety car's in this lap.
They run out of time. Isn't going to be that much of a loss, though? But anyway, we're going back to green flag running. There won't be any added laps either, so it's lap 25 of 38. We enter the last corner. De Vries leads. Dennis second. Pending investigations. Flags out. We're racing against them. Mortara has the effective net lead. Radio.
Cassidy as well. Just manage the rears as much as you can then. Yeah. It's under investigation. You just need to park it for now, all right?
Yeah, copy that. So contact then for Nick Cassidy. And he's come to the end of his...
Yes, the big bits are gone, but the little bits are still there.
And that little bit is as sharp as a razor, so I don't know why they haven't got rid of that either. But either way, Cassidy moves ahead into Costa. Tickton's running in fourth position. Tickton passes Mortar. Tickton is the net leader of the race.
Yep. You're just looking at the amount of tap modes, and Dennis, yeah, I mean, he's got quite an advantage, hasn't he, with the 6 minutes. He's effectively got a lap and a half in hand over those that need to take a tap mode, which is like 4 minutes for each of the lot of them, really. So that's going to come into Dennis's hands later on, but it's going to be hampered by that front wing damage, isn't it?
Massively, massively. This is going to be a complete change in racing spec here at the moment as they try and come through. Look at the team's championship as it stands down the inside. That's a move and a half going as well for the Nissan of Roland. Gets ahead. So oh, it's NATO. That's NATO and Van Dorn. Stop putting them so close together. Can we have different liveries next year?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah, one thing I will put out, one of the big losers in that safety car coming out was Nick Cassidy, because he drained his attack mode under that safety car. And yes, we said today that attack mode isn't as crucial as it has been over the course of the season, but it's still a massive help. And so
we're in our commentary area. I heard a loud thud.
Oh, is someone hit the wall in the portal?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, contact!
Oh, it's running around, it's just about to save it!
That's Roland and Verline, the top two in the championship.
Well, the two championship protagonists like making battle with each other, and now that's put Barnard in 10th position, Verline down to 11th, Roland stays in position, and De Vries has been given a 10-second time penalty for contact with Dennis. So Jake Dennis becomes the net leader of the race, but Mortara can hopefully have a go. But Roland's backing everybody up. Muller's gone into the distance, and there we go now. But Buemi and Muller taking their attack modes, their last one. They've got 4 minutes each.
Yeah,
they've not lost a place. No, not one.
Yeah, easily coming out in front of everyone else there. But yeah. De Vries, that 10-second penalty was just Roland's getting 5 seconds for what he did to Gunther, which is what we call a racing incident. It was either going to be a 10-second penalty or even a drive-through. So that is just for Nick De Vries. But it also means that Dennis is now back in the net lead. Whether he'll be able to hold on with the damage, because we saw Mitch Evans fall back through the field with his damage, and Dennis's looks a little bit more severe, but we'll have to see as the race goes on. There's 10 laps left of this one.
Let's have a look at it again. It's on the inside line, and just a light touch. That's completely on the radio. Well, that was a bit silly. Just a touch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I don't think Roland lost the position as a consequence, did he? So I think Verline will get away with that one.
A lot of dust in the air here. I just saw while we were commentating where our position is right in front of us. It's gated off and there's a tree. Maloney drives through penalty for an overpowered during release. So, okay. Tickton's moved up into 5th position as well. Yeah, I saw several photographers, did you see, running past us here in a light jog. So something must have happened to get back to the media centre. The media centre here is packed, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's very packed. So that's why
it's
we're
almost like someone's retiring this weekend and they're going to all guns blazing.
Yeah, I've yet to see Steve around here. Well, I've seen Louise, and I've seen. In fact, speaking of which,
Louise is coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap your mic around if that's all right, and I'm gonna. Oh, that's a good time. Morning, Louise. You're right.
So Dennis is now back in front. De Vries is taking his attack mode.
Dennis taking attack mode now.
Takes attack mode now.
Yeah.
It looks like that damage is sort of all right. Dennis dropped behind Tickton, but Dennis has more time in attack mode by a solid 3 minutes or so. So De Vries is leading, but he has got that 10-second penalty. Eduardo Mortara still got to take an attack mode. That is Cassidy and Muller. Cassidy's not in his second attack yet, but Muller is in his final attack. Rollins is taking his final attack as well. So yeah, we're getting close to squeaky bum time here, and we're going to have to go shortly soon.
Yeah, as soon as you need to leave, mate, you can leave. Do not worry at all. It's a pleasure for you stepping in when I could not make it to the broadcast at the time because we were searching around for a place to sit. But we found a lovely spot, actually. This is yellow, yellow, yellow. What's this about?
Trying to see if anyone stopped on the track. Now it's Hughes stopped at turn 1. So
Oh, Jake Hughes.
we'll have to see what comes of it there. But Mortara's just gone into second attack mode, and he's dropped to P4 now behind Dennis.
there he is.
And there is Jake Hughes who's stopped at turn 1. That hoping
dangerous
worst case
position?
scenario that is a
I'd say it's away from the firing
The thing
line.
is, this is the main overtaking zone, so everyone who's in attack mode at the moment, which is the majority of the field, is going to be sort of neutralised at this point, because they can't really...
Course yellow in 3, 2,
Full course yellow.
1. Full course yellow, please.
Right.
Right, that's a sensible decision to go full course yellow. Go on, Pico.
Yeah, because we only have a safety car a few laps ago, they're all fairly bunched up, so Maloney's just passed the stripping car of Jake Hughes, and so they can move that car now, and they've still got half a lap until Nick De Vries comes up to pass them. But yeah, the fact that Maloney had to serve that penalty there is not ideal, and it just looks like Hughes just came to a stop there. There must be something wrong with the powertrain or something.
Okay, so a complete stop. Dead as a dodo. Yeah, I was going to stop Louise, but she was carrying loads of bags. I thought it was a bit unfair to ask her to come to that tiny little gap in front of us as they push the car behind.
I will say, under this full course yellow, the gap has...
Full course yellow, okay.
3, 2, 1. Green flag, please.
Right.
Where is it? Yeah, where is it? Go on.
So yeah, we're back underway. Tictum's just run out of attack mode. Dennis will have it, but look at the gap now between the two of them, and
Oh, Dennis, sorry.
Dennis is stopping! Dennis is stopping! That's tipped him into the net lead of the race! So whatever's happened, Jake Dennis is stopping, and now that puts De Vries with that time penalty, so Dan tipped him as the net lead of the race, and off goes Van Dorn into the barrier! He's gone straight on, and that will bring out the safety car. Dan Tictum might have just won his first race in Formula E!
And Dan is going. Dan is going. He is closing up so much on Nick
He's going
De Vries.
for it!
Oh, it's De Vries who stopped! It's De Vries who stopped!
It's just an energy thing. It's got to be energy. Has to be energy.
And Tictum leads.
Dan
Incredible.
Tictum, he is going to win. I told you every race I nearly miss is a good one.
Yep.
But can he hold off from Mortara? Who's got attack
Mortara
mode?
is in attack.
The race control.
No surprise.
Full
Full
course
course
yellow.
yellow.
And that stops Mortara critically in the attack mode situation with 1 minute to go.
Huge for Dan Tictum, because Mortara only has 1 minute left for attack mode. We're seeing Alex Hoy on the screen, the team principal of the Kizikiro team, and yeah, this is huge because Dan Tictum. Remember here 2 years ago where he had where he was so frustrated with his drive, he was asking for the taxi to come straight after the race. He didn't want to speak to anyone. He's going to speak to everyone, and that is a huge accident. Van Dorn went straight into the wall there. I'm wondering, was it a similar thing to that we're seeing De Vries go off now, but we think that accident for Van Dorn, it looked rather similar to the accident that Robin Fryns had yesterday in free practice 1. So same part of the circuit, but yeah, hopefully stuff is okay. Fred Bertrand is so upset.
As soon as he went over the bump, it went off.
And Mortara is out of attack. We're still under full course yellow. The highest person with attack left is Antonio Felix da Costa in 5th place.
It's going to get very loud here because the touring cars have just gone out for their first practice session. So as soon as we're done here, JT's picking up the touring cars, and then we'll be live at the end of the session with our usual interviews, and then we're trackside for FP2 because the signal's great. So we've got to walk for a bit of a walk. Mortar radio.
So, okay, yeah, no,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, there was a mess up here. Just tell me you have to...
Please, hey, with the com, please, Now, if it's crucial, you speak. Otherwise, it's a mess.
Oh.
Not happy from Eduardo Mortara. I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether
the
I can't hear it, but I'm a little bit mutton, so so yeah. But yeah.
Mortara's out of attack mode.
Yeah, Mortara's out of attack mode. DaCosta has only got 30 seconds left. And then the highest person behind that, Pascal Wehrlein in 12. Because DaCosta, Barnard and Frines, they're all going to run out at more or less the same time. Roland's up to 7th, but reminder, he's still got that 5-second penalty to serve. Sebastian Buemi is in 3rd. He's got a 5-second penalty to serve, which means that Nico Muller is on for a net podium here. DaCosta looks like he's going to run out of attack mode here.
Yeah,
unless we go back racing, and we're not going back racing anytime soon. We might get an extra lap of racing here. Have you got?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm assuming you don't have your stopwatch on you like normal.
Sadly not, no, but it is definitely more than 3 minutes, I can tell you that, so we'll have at least another lap.
Yeah, because DaCosta had more than 3 minutes on his attack, and he was now run out.
For longer, yeah.
So
I'd say two laps.
Yeah, I was going to say I think there's going to be a minimum of 2 laps on top of the 38 we've got here, Pico. So
it's not more than 6 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, and 3 actually, because we've had 3 interventions in this one, or is it 2?
No, this is just the second one.
Yeah. JT says he can't take him straight away. Well, obviously, we'll know when he can.
But I can film.
No, I'm on about the touring cars, yeah.
Oh, touring cars, okay.
Green.
Back to racing.
That was
just at the right time for Dan Tickton, because all he had to do was accelerate through turn 1, and he can hold off Eduardo Mortara for another lap. He's got 1 percentage more on Eduardo Mortara. But now we're back to racing.
Pedal for defending, only for defending, can be useful at the restart.
Well, that was an old message, because the restart's come and gone, and he's just gone just straight away. He hasn't got it anywhere.
The highest person with attacks now is Pascal Wehrlein in P12, and the track may have cleared up to a point where he might be able to make some decent moves and get some points. But crucially, he needs to finish within that 5 seconds of Ollie Rowland and get another position to make sure that he at least gains a little bit going to Berlin. But as it stands at the moment, it's looking increasingly like Ollie Rowland could wrap this up in Berlin race 1 in 3 weeks' time.
Guess what I am for that in 3 weeks' time? Yeah, I'm seriously considering not going to World Superbikes just because of it all. There's too much mess on that weekend, including Spa, if I'm not very much mistaken. As again they attack. Oh no, that's Formula E Spa, isn't it? Yeah. So 35-38, Dan Tickton leads, Mortara second, Buemi is third, coming in 4th position as well. For a split second, Avison also over there. That might be it's a drinking fountain, I'm not too sure. But for a second I thought it was Tiffany Doe. When you tell me, you know what I mean? Yeah. It looks like Tiffany Doe. Tiffany's here this weekend though, I didn't know that. Tiffany Doe is here, so we'll spot a legend or two. Everyone's down for Steve Ryder's last shebang. I've even heard maybe Jim Rosenthal is here, so that'll be quite awesome, can't get him on. But it's the big shebang and the big goodbye. Yeah. Nikki Shields is taking over as British touring car presenter. She's obviously right now trackside in Indonesia. Touring cars are loud, I don't know who's these headsets. I'm going to let Jordan do trackside hopefully too later.
You never know, Nikki might make it back in time. She might have a flight tonight, because this is only a single header. We don't have a race tomorrow.
Hello.
But yeah, we're now on to the 3rd to last lap. We haven't seen anything that shows, race extended by 0 laps. So we're not going to get any extra laps. That full course yellow must have been just short enough to not get any more laps. So we are on the 3rd to last lap. That's been confirmed. It's Dan Tickton, who looks like at this point in time could be on for his maiden Formula E victory here in Jakarta.
2 to go. Yeah.
Eduardo Mortara is just half a second behind for Mahindra. Seb Buemi's in third, but he's got a 5-second time penalty. Nico Muller's in fourth, then it's DaCosta fifth, Cassidy sixth. Roland is currently seventh, but he also has a 5-second penalty. And then it's Barnard in eighth, third in ninth, Rines in 10th. Fairline's just got back up to 11th. He's having a little tussle with Pascal Wehrlein, but yeah, he is. But yeah, it's looking likely that Wehrlein might not get any points here today, as we're entering the penultimate lap. And for Dan Ticktum, these are going to be the longest 2 laps of his life.
Yeah, well, watch out for Mortara as well. He's right behind him, trying to turn one. Mortara is glued to his rear of the car. Ticktum's sliding ever so slightly as well. I think Buemi, if he's declined, Buemi's in for a second win of the season.
Well, he would be if the penalty wasn't in the way, which would hand it over to Nico Muller, wouldn't
that's
it?
True, yeah.
Unless Buemi was able to pull away, which he hasn't done. So Nico Muller,
he's on for it, yeah.
He could well be on for it. At the very minimum, a podium anyway for Muller. You never know what could happen involving these two. There will be a minimum of 2 added laps on top of the 38 here. So Dan Ticktum's going to be spending the next 4 laps.
No. Race has been extended by 0 laps.
0 laps.
0 laps.
So we were.
So
that's not possible because we were inside 3 minutes.
Yeah,
So
I thought that as well.
Yeah.
But the full course yellow must have been like 1 second too short or something like that for it to register to be in an added lap. But
that then, Dan Ticktum, same energy as Mortara.
State of charge. Same state of charge. And yeah, they are within about 3.3 of a percentage between them. And for Dan Ticktum, this is going to be the longest lap of his life. He has had such a torrid. He's had some fantastic moments in this series. But this will be the creme de la creme. He joined this team when it was Neo 333 in Season 8, where the team was struggling. They had a year-old Penske powertrain, and he couldn't really do anything with it. This is realistically the first year that he's been able to do something competitive in Formula E. He's got a customer Porsche powertrain, the powertrain that Pascal Wehrlein won the championship with 12 months ago. And finally, for Dan Ticktum, he is half a sector away from getting his best moment of his career.
Through turn 16, 17 and 18, it's been a long wait for the man who's been known as Mr. McSweary. They called him Dick Tantrum, but no worries, it's Dan Ticktum for the first time, winner in Formula E. Ticktum wins, and they are absolutely beside themselves at Cairo. They have won it in their first season of appearance. They mean so much to the team, there's tears everywhere. 2% of the line, and Dan Ticktum is an FIA Formula E winner for the first time.
Sensational, absolutely sensational from Dan Ticktum. He drove a beautiful race. He's had a good season as well. Team radio from the winner.
Yes!
They probably couldn't play the full radio because there's too many expletives. But wow, I'm so happy for Dan. He is the whole thing that happened 10
Races
years ago,
and you're a Formula E winner. Congratulations. How did you navigate your way through that race?
It was quite tough, as we all predicted. Offline, very dirty, very difficult to manage when to overtake. And everyone was sort of waiting to go into attack mode. It's just a bit of a game, really, and the car was pretty good throughout. It struggled a bit towards the end, but yeah, the car was good and the strategy was good, and a bit of fortune, but that's Formula E, and we've all done the job as a team this weekend, so very, very happy for the team. And yeah, I think that's it, signing off.
Well done.
It's been such a long time coming.
He deserved this.
Yeah, he's always been quick. He was quick he's been quick in everything that he's been in. But honestly, amazing. I know I'm a journalist. I'm not supposed to be biased, but he is just brilliant. I love a bit of Dan Ticktum. He is so fun to interview. He's just got such a great personality. And when you see a lot of people in F1, you say with the rookie drivers, don't media train them. We want these sort of characters. And then and then they then the F1 guy sort of shunned Dan Tickton for something that he did when he was a teenager. And we all regret stuff that we do when we're 16. Yeah. And yes, what he did was stupid. But in Silverstone 10 years ago. But he learned from that. He came back. He proved himself in Formula 2. He was a member of the Red Bull Driver Academy. He was a member of the Williams Academy. Yes, some people say, like, yeah, he still had that chip on his shoulder, but I think he kind of deserved it. Yes, he never made it to Formula 1, but he's always been there or thereabout. He was a championship contender in Formula 2, and now, after three seasons at the back of the field, he is now a race winner in Formula E, and I am so happy. He's up to P5 in the championship. Who would have thought that going into this season?
We are on a quick go on. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, he's faced a lot of adversity, hasn't he? Has Dan, and I'm actually really happy for him that he's just hung on in there for all these years, especially through the sort of Neo 333 days where the team was just hampered with problems left, right, and centre. Reformed as Cooper Kiro, and I think it has worked out perfectly for them. And I just hope he builds on it in the races to come, because we've still got the likes of Berlin and London to go this season, haven't we? We've got both of the double headers, aren't we?
Both of the double headers, 4 to go.
Yeah.
Well, my thanks to Pico, my thanks as well to Omi, my thanks to Tom and JT for running the stream. That's it then from this one for Formula E. It is race victory for Dan Tickton and the Cooper Kiro team, and they are absolutely beside themselves. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time when we go racing in Berlin. Bye-bye.